just before we start this, when I first recorded, I forgot to mention that I did actually play the Nintendo Switch version as well, and I just wanted to give a quick comparison between the two. The PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch versions look identical. They're both very, very good looking. The difference comes in at frame rate, where the Nintendo Switch is locked at 30 frames per second and the PS4 goes to 60 frames. It is noticeable when you play one after the other, but the 30 frame lock in no way really affects this game. It's a turn-based RPG after all. You don't need to be making quick reflex-based movements. And that's about it, guys. So now let's kick on with my impressions video. Lost Sphear. Now, this is a game that I have been looking forward to. I did play I Am Setsuna, and you know what, I wasn't blown away by it. It never really dragged me in. And I love a turn-based battle system as much as the next guy, but I thought that I Am Setsuna's turn-based battle was just really, really slow-paced and really boring. There is definitely a way to do turn-based battles that are fun and engaging, and I think that I Am Setsuna's turn-based battle system is one of the problems in the industry, that people look at turn-based battles and say, oh, they're not going to work, people don't like them. It's that kind of really simplistic, no real feature set there. It's just the bare bones turn-based battle system. People look at it and think, why would anybody want to play this? And that's why I believe that, a lot of games don't do the turn-based battles anymore. But you look at Bravely Default, and that's a much more quick-paced turn-based battle system. It's a fun battle system. It has different things you can do. You look at Trails of Cold Steel. That turn-based battle system. That's a lot of fun. There's a lot of strategy involved, positioning, and all that kind of stuff. It's really good. So, straight up about Lost Sphear, I can tell you that there has been significant improvements over I Am Setsuna, especially in the gameplay department and especially in the battle system. It is turn-based, but going back to the Trails of Cold Steel thing, it is very much like the Trails of Cold Steel battle system. So you actually position your character, and your character also has sort of an area of effect. Even if it's just a normal attack, like, a swing the sword, it actually has like a small red circle, and that's its attack area. So you can position yourself to potentially hit more than one enemy. And the other enemies that have ranged attacks, they might attack in a line. So you can actually position your character to attack multiple enemies as long as they're in a line shape, and things of that nature. So there is a whole new strategic element to battles, and it's a whole lot more fun because it actually feels like you're doing things. It is quicker too. It has like more of an ATB system where things just keep happening even if you don't take, it doesn't, everything doesn't just stop when you have to pick your next move. So the battle system is greatly improved, and I was straight away much happier playing it, and I was getting sucked in. This was a demo of sorts, or a preview of sorts, but I am led to believe that it is, apart from maybe tweaks or bug fixes or things of that nature, it is the final game as it is presented. It's sort of like a cross-section of the game. And I believe it's sort of like the opening and another 2-hour slice a bit later on. So I played a half an hour section and then like a sort of hour and a half, 2-hour section. And I was sucked in. I was happy to play it for that long, whereas, I Am Setsuna really starts to drag, I found. The other major improvement is visually, and I have to say, like, when I say major improvement, I am not saying that I Am Setsuna was visually bad, because I Am Setsuna was actually quite a beautiful looking game, its art style and that sort of thing, but it sort of lacked a variety, and that was by purpose. It was mostly snow, and that it had that sort of, that aesthetic. This game, Lost Sphear, looks really, really nice. Very similar art style, almost identical, but there are definitely refinements there, and just the art direction and the aesthetic and everything like that looks really good. There are just these sections where I don't. I mean, this shouldn't really be a spoiler. I don't want to obviously hit with any spoiler stuff, and I don't want to do story stuff or anything like that. There's just There are parts of the world that are completely white, like as if they're blanked out, or just they're a void, and it looks really, really nice. Like the effect, just the way it just feels like there is a part of the world missing, and the whole game just looks really, really nice. It's visually beautiful, and it is a huge improvement over I Am Setsuna, and I don't mean to downplay I Am Setsuna in that. So this being this visually good should be an up in more ways than one. The story that I played through, as I say, I was actually getting sucked in. So there is an interesting story there. It's a really nice narrative, and so was I Am Setsuna. It had a really nice narrative to it. This one, Lost Sphear, is a little more out there, as in it's much more JRPG, I think, than I Am Setsuna was. There are a lot of concepts and ideas and sort of world building that is like way out there, way like it's things that you don't think of, or things that that we couldn't comprehend as people. It's not the way the world works. It's a very JRPG world, and it's a very JRPG story. That's I like that kind of stuff. Like, that's why I play JRPGs. I play it for original stories, and I play it for ideas and concepts and stuff that are just way out there. And that's what I got from Lost Sphear. You guys can jump down in the comment section and let me know if you have any questions. I am under embargo, though. There are only certain things I can talk about, and there are some things I can't talk about. And the gameplay footage that you're watching is of my playthrough playing the game, but I can obviously only show limited things in that. It's not a super strict embargo, but Square Enix is still iffy with that, so I'm putting up as much gameplay as I possibly can. Jump down in the comment section, let me know your questions if you have any. Other than that, guys, enjoy the gameplay, stay tuned for more previews and impressions and stuff like that.